Alright guys, so I reviewed the first Black Christmas from 1974 and raved about how incredible of a movie it is and how it truly is one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen. And I don't get scared at movies much. So I talked about that movie and loved that movie. I thought the Black Christmas original 1974 film was great. And today I'm going to talk about this thing, Black Xmas. Honestly, like, rewatching this, I still despise so many things about this movie. To me, this is the most, this one out of all the remakes that I've seen, this is the one that I feel like is the most disrespectful to the original. In terms of just what the original is and then what this is. The thing that blows me away about this remake is that it loses all credibility the original had with giving this stupid ass backstory with these characters, or with the killers in this movie, and how all of these everything in this movie I feel like is done very badly, but in some instances I feel like it is so bad it's good. In a couple instances in the movie there are some parts where I'm like, okay, that wasn't too, like, that wasn't entertainingly bad in a couple instances, but overall, I think this movie is still a piece of shit. I feel bad for Glenn Morgan, the guy who directed this, because he directed it wanting it to be more like the original, just give backstories, but Harvey and Bob Weinstein came in and told them, since this is a dimension, told them, we're going to do it this way, we're going to take all this stuff you don't want and make it our movie too. We're going to make a lot of scenes for the trailer that aren't even in the movie, or even have any indication of being in the movie. So Bob and Harvey Weinstein, like usual, fuck everything up and are just horrible. So they butchered this remake to where I don't know what Glenn Morgan's original intent was. Like, he was going to do the backstory on these killers, but he wasn't. I don't know if it would have been as bad. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll never see, but I'm really curious to what his original cut was like, because this is definitely a hybrid movie, studio movie from a lot of different people. So let's just start at the beginning. It opens up kind of like the original, where there's a girl in her room, and like you see like the killer's in the closet, and then she gets up, goes in there, the killer's not in the closet, and it's different because the killer's under the bed, and then immediately she sits down, the killer bags her, stabs her, and then just opening credits in a quick 5-second motion. Like, she gets a bag on her head, gets stabbed, then the opening title card, and it's so quick and so abrupt that it doesn't work. It really is annoying that it just does. It's so jump cutty in this movie as well. It's just very stupid bullshit like that, where the original was not like that. It took its time amazingly, but this one does not. And then we get the immediate family backstory on how Billy's dad is killed on Christmas, and then Billy's mom gets a new lover, and Billy starts having this backstory about what is going on with, like, we get this terrible backstory with him, but I'll get into that. But we keep cutting back and forth between, like, current time and that time whenever Billy was a kid. And we get all these characters who are kind of like the first one. They're not awful, they're just there. Like, except, it's funny because the character Miss Mac, who was played by a different actress in the original, is now played by the actress who played Phil in the original Black Christmas. So that's funny that she's the sister now, or the sorority leader now in this movie. Like, that's just funny that she's back. Like, I didn't mind her in the movie. Like, she's totally alright. But we honestly have an all-star cast of great actresses in this movie. Starting with, like, Katie Cassidy, Michelle Trachtenberg, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I love. And then we have, like, Oliver Hudson as well, and then Lacey Chabert, and then, like, Kirsten Cloak, and Andrea Martin, and Crystal Lowe. Like, all these actresses, and Oliver Hudson, but they're all basically women besides him, are all actresses that have been better in other stuff, and they're totally serviceable here. Like, they're not the worst thing ever. They're not used efficiently well. Like I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead in a lot of horror that she's in, but she's just like, whenever she dies, like, you don't even see her die. It's just like she's in a car and then like blood splatters on the car. It's so stupid. And everybody else is just serviceable. Like, Katie Cassidy is literally the last one to survive and make it through, and she's just okay. It's not her fault. It's not any of the actors' fault. It's just they don't have anything to work with, and it's unfortunate because I really do like all these actors in this movie. They're all great in other things, so it's unfortunate. But then we keep going back and forth, like I said, from the current time to whenever Billy was a kid. And then we have the backstory, which is the most insulting thing, I think, in this whole movie, where it keeps flashing back and forth, like, from current time to backstory. So somebody's killing at the house already, at the sorority house already, but Billy is in a sanitarium. So what's up with that? You'll figure out soon. But Billy gets out of the sanitarium because the workers there are the biggest idiots on the planet. And then there's literally a guy who's patrolling. He doesn't see Billy through the peephole door, so he goes in there, leaves the door open, and then Billy stabs him with a candy cane that he just fastened by sucking on it to make it sharp. And then there's so much Christmas, like this character Billy in this version is literally every single thing he has to do involves Christmas. Whether he murders, whether anything he likes is Christmas. It doesn't matter. It's all Christmas. Everything involving him is related to Christmas. It's going to be drilling your head throughout this whole movie. And I don't know, like, the guy gets killed with a candy cane that's sharp, and then another girl is killed with her eyes gouged out. And, like, it's just really ridiculous that, like, these people are so dumb in the sanitarium. And then again, it shows, like, current time, where, like, all the girls are opening their presents, and then Mrs. Mack is like, "Oh, we gotta get the present for Billy," and then all the girls are like, why do we need to open the present for a murderer? He doesn't even live here anymore." And here we come to a bad part of the backstory in this version, where the sorority house in this version was a big-ass house that Billy and his family lived in whenever Billy was a kid. So this is his childhood home now. Okay, what's the point of that, but okay. But he used to live there in the 1970s, and then we get the shitty backstory, where now he has yellow skin for some reason. I forgot what the term is that they said in the movie. That's a real term in real life, but he has a rare skin deficiency where he's just yellow skinned. Okay, what does that do for anything? That's so dumb. No point in that. And more of the backstory is that the mom hates Billy because he looked like her husband that she and the lover killed. And the father is killed while Billy watches them kill the father, the mom and the new lover. But yeah, it's so dumb. And then we get one of the most insulting things, I think, in this whole thing, in that there is a second killer in this movie, Agnes, who is played by a man, by the way. Just really weird and really stupid. But Agnes was born because Billy's mom, after she and her new lover murdered Billy's real father, the new lover couldn't love her enough. Like, she couldn't have sex enough with the new lover. So what she does is she rapes her son, Billy, and they have a baby together. And I'm just sitting there like my brain is literally falling out. Like, this is so fucking ridiculous and so stupid with the backstory. I hate the backstory. It's so awful. And I think it's just so bad. And then later, it keeps going where it keeps flashing back to him when he was a kid, and he becomes an adult with Agnes being younger, and she's an actual girl when she's younger. She's a man whenever she's the full-aged Agnes in this movie, but, like, Billy kills his whole family besides Agnes. He rips her eye out, but that's it. And he kills the rest of his family and makes flesh cookies out of them, like cuts their flesh off, puts them in like those cookie shapers and makes cookies and puts them in the oven and eats them, and then the police come and take them away to the sanitarium. It is just ridiculous and so stupid that it makes me so mad because it's just so, what is the point of any of this backstory? And I like a lot of things that do backstory, in terms of like prequels, like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, or like the Star Wars prequels. Like, I love those. I love that they delve deeper into these stories of stuff we love. But in this one, it's a different iteration. It's not the same Black Christmas movie. It's not trying to be. And we get this shitty ass backstory that's so stupid. And then, like, cutting forward to like present day, like, they get the phone call from Billy, and it's not scary at all. Like the original, like in the original, that guy, that performance was terrifying, and on like the phone, like that voice is really scary. In this one, it's not as scary, and it's really dumb. And it's got a lot of random cuts in it, like this movie, where it's just, what's the point of this? Like, for example, there's another girl, Eve, that lives there with all these girls, but for some reason when you first see her, they make a weird creepy music sound choice, and you see her and she's just got glasses, and it's shot to where it looks like there's something wrong with the Eve girl, like she's really creepy, and then nothing comes of it. Like, she's not like the killer. What was that implying? That she's the killer, maybe? That she's Agnes? No, it just didn't make any sense. I didn't get that at all. I think that was probably a case of the studio of this movie being screwed over by so many people, that random bit was just random. Like, what was the deal with that Eve girl? Like, she was just a normal girl, but they filmed it to where she looked like she was going to be the killer or something in that scene, like foreshadowing her being the killer. That was dumb. And the first girl who dies, Claire, at the beginning of the movie, like, immediately, like, out of nowhere, Claire's sister, who's played by Crystal, what's her name? Kristen Cloak, who was in Final Destination, and there's a lot of Final Destination people in this movie, but Kristen Cloak comes in, Claire's sister, Lee. She comes in and she's immediately like, where's my sister? And she's just a bitch to everybody. Like, out of nowhere, this person just appears. They haven't even done anything to call the authorities, like, that she's missing. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, in the original Black Christmas, whoever the girl was, I don't know if her name was Claire that died in the first movie, but, like, the girl who died at the beginning of the first one, the father came in, but that took a day, and he's like, where's my daughter? And then he wasn't, like, freaking out, like... And I understand losing a kid would solicit freaking out, but this woman is just a bitch. Like, she just literally goes to everybody and just is being horrible to them for no reason. And, like, it's just a weird personality choice for this actress to do. I don't know if I don't know if the director told her, like be a bitchy person to everybody. Like, try to get an answer out of everybody. Where's your sister at? Maybe that's what they were trying to intently do. But I thought it was stupid. It just made the Kristen Cloak's character look like a bitch. Like, she was just kind of horrible. Like, she was just stupid. It was random that she was there so quickly, too, after that immediately happened. Like, in movie time, maybe like an hour before. So she wouldn't have made it anywhere either. So that's so stupid. So she's just randomly there. And then there's another random thing that's really dumb and out of nowhere, where Oliver Hudson is the boyfriend of Kelly, but there's this stupid sex tape subplot that goes nowhere, where, like, it's about, like Kelly sees the sex tape, and it's, like, with Oliver Hudson and this other girl, and he's like, oh, I didn't show that to anybody, and, like, it's just literally no point of it. It's so stupid. And I keep saying that, it's so stupid, but this movie is fucking stupid. So it's so dumb. And then they all stupidly go outside after they have a fight. They, like, have a fight over this because, like, the power's out, and, like, Mrs. Mack is like, he's here. Like, because she just immediately knows that Billy's here. Like, he's killing. Okay? Because they find one person dead. But it's just, like, it's just ridiculous. And then they have a stupid line where, like, one of the characters is like, when that one of them doesn't want to go outside, the other one's like, "We're sisters, so act like it." And I'm thinking, no, you're not. You're just sorority sisters. You're not. I don't get. Some of this dialogue is so dumb too. And then, like I said earlier, they go outside and Mary Elizabeth Winstead gets killed immediately in a car. Like, she's just sitting in a car, and you just see blood splatter. And I'm like, you don't even see her die? Like, was she not even, like, able to film that? Like, that's so stupid. This movie, again, has so many stupid cuts and stupid things about it that it just makes it so stupid, stupid, stupid. So, and this is, bottom line, one of the dumbest things in this movie as well. Because Mrs. Mack is outside after Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, I think Heather, gets killed. And then there's there's some ice up on the roof, on like the shingles. A piece of ice falls down and impales her. The killer doesn't even kill her. She just gets impaled by ice, like Final Destination, like death got her. Again, just so stupid. What's the point of that? Like, that just, I don't know. And then, like, we get a lot more killings where, like, Agnes starts killing them all. Billy kills a couple people, but it's mostly Agnes. And damn, the brutality in this movie, I guess, isn't too bad. Like, it is actually really brutal. It's just ridiculous in some aspects. Like I said, making flesh cookies. Like, it's just really stupid. And there's a scene up in the basement where, like, Billy eats this girl's eye, or, Agnes eats this girl's eye, while Lee and Kelly, like, are running around in the basement upstairs, and you just realize that it's two killers, even though I've already said that in this review, but I don't get, whenever you get the full reveal that it's Agnes is one of the killers, and it's Billy's sister, or daughter, Billy's daughter sister, it's, like I said before, it's a literal man dressed up with a wig. It's so stupid. It's just a guy that's dressed up as a girl. What? Like, it's just so ridiculous. And then, like, we have this confrontation where, like, Kelly and Lee both, like, make it out and make it out of this hole in the wall, and, like, both the killers fall through the hole and get stuck there and then fall down with a burning tree. And then, like, Kelly just gets paint thinner and starts throwing it in there with the fire. And I thought that was kind of a cool moment. But, so they start burning alive. And then they go to the hospital. Kelly and Lee, they go there to the hospital. And you're thinking, oh, they're dead, but it's a horror movie, so you know they're not dead. How the fuck did they make it out of that? They were stuck in the bottom of this wall crevice, and they couldn't get out quick with a tree on top of them burning with paint thinner thrown on them. It is going to burn quickly. But then the killers return in the hospital with barely like half a mark on their face. It's kind of like how Dr. Loomis looked in Halloween 4, where he's got just that mark on his cheek. Which, even though I love Halloween 4, but still, it's just dumb in this movie. And so Billy and Agnes are both alive, and then Lee gets killed, and then it's just Kelly. Katie Cassidy's just on her own now, and she kills Agnes, and then Billy, what she does is, like, she throws Billy off of this staircase, and, like, he gets impaled by a tree, and then it just ends. And it literally just ends in an abrupt way. It's like, oh, he gets impaled, and then cut to credits. Even though it's slow, but it cuts to credits, and I'm like, okay, that overall, this movie really does have a couple so bad it's good moments. Like, there were a couple fun moments, but the disrespect to me personally, with the backstory and with how stupid they made it to where the killer is yellow-skinned and he fucked his mom and then he had a baby and she's the other killer. That is ridiculous, and just to the point where I'm like, are you serious? Seriously, like, look at how stupid that is. It really pisses me off with the backstory. But the main characters are not awful. They're just there. They're not anything that added anything, and these actresses all have done better roles, way better roles, and it's unfortunate. All of them are totally serviceable, I guess, but they just have nothing to work with. And the kills are brutal. Like, the kills are brutal, the brutality is cool, but this really does suck ass. Like, this is a terrible movie. Like, this really is, seriously, one of the worst, most insulting remakes I've ever seen. The other remakes, I don't get why people get completely, like, I don't even, like, get completely insulted with them. Like, I don't even love the Friday remake, but it's a Friday the 13th movie still. Or the Halloween remake is, like, still a Halloween movie, but just brutal. In this one, it's a movie where we have the difference between the killer in the original having nothing shown or told about him, and in this one it's literally told, but in a way where, in my opinion, it's just so incredibly insulting. So yeah, fuck this movie. There's a couple moments that are alright about it, but it's so bad. This is a terrible movie. I guess I can rewatch it, but, like, it just still, it's just, if I think of it on its own and not think of it as a Black Christmas remake, then yes, it might be more fun and it's so bad it's a good way, and in moments it is, but overall, this one is just, like I said, one of the most insulting remakes ever, I think, that I've ever seen. So overall, this one sucks. So that's all I can really say about this one. What do you guys think about Black Christmas, or Black Xmas 2006? You know my thoughts if you just watched this video, so thank you so much for watching. Tell me down below what you think of this movie, and thank you guys so much for watching.